Welcome to the Undrafted Uncensored cast of Pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanker. And last but certainly is least, Joseph Goodwin.
Welcome everyone to Undrafted Uncensored, where I don't know about you guys, but there's a new Buffalo running in Boulder this weekend. New Buffalo in Buffalo. Yeah,
I mean, there were some Buffaloes running in Buffalo last night. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, the game was a little closer than I thought it was going to be. That's for damn sure.
I actually thought that I kind of jinxed the Bills on Sunday when I heard that Josh Allen left the game. I don't know if you guys remember that part of the show where I said, well, now's a good time to place a bet on the Dolphins in case anyone gets hurt on the Bills.
Yeah.
And then Josh Allen leaves the game with a broken nose on Sunday. I was like, oh, no.
That was a good broken nose, too.
There's a new Buffalo, a very young Buffalo who I've heard is very rambunctious.
Yes. No name yet. We're just calling her Ralphie 7 for now. She's supposed to get her name here relatively soon based on her attitude, I guess. So.
Does anybody really know the Buffs mascot real name besides Ralphie? It's always Ralphie.
Yeah, I think that's just easiest for all of us. It's Ralphie.
I mean, and does the Buffalo care if it's like Ralphie 7?
No.
Doesn't even care if it's got the lineage or not. I don't think so.
Do you think the other Batmans care if the Batman passed? No, they're just Batman.
Or if Ralphie's a male's name, like whatever. Like Buffalo doesn't care.
No.
My biggest
question is, do they call it Ralphie?
I shall now be called Betty.
There will be no way. Watch it be Betty the Buffalo.
But Betty is a girl's name.
I'm glad that they have a Buffalo that will run. Did you hear the whole reasoning behind why she wasn't running the other week?
Yeah, because she just doesn't like running.
No, the new Buffalo. Why they didn't have her out there yet?
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
Because she was too obnoxious or too wild. They had to train her more to get out there and run with the crew.
Wow.
These guys and girls, the handlers, have no idea what I know.
Oh no, they know.
Well, I know they practice, but oh man, once she's in front of all those fans, I hope she kicks their ass. I hope someone's dragged like 50 yards on the field because that would get everyone fired up.
Nah, that gets you kicked off the squad though. I mean,
I know
a couple guys that did it, and so, that's intense running that Buffalo.
Oh, I'm sure
from what they've said. So,
yeah, and I understand why they went for the more conservative Ralphie before, but that's not what anyone wants. I'm glad we have a more rambunctious. Know what? If it takes an extra week to get the correct thing out there, then awesome. Because as far as I knew, it was happening anyway. I didn't see a lot of the pregame stuff, so. I'm just glad to hear that we're getting it back and we have a more excited Ralphie, and I guess it's a female, so it has to have like a secondary female name, but I still kind of want some kind of like James Bond, Can we just call Ralphie like 007 or something like Judi Dench? I don't know.
No, let's stick with Ralphie.
If it's number 7 or like, I don't know, John Elway.
No, we can't do that.
No.
We definitely can't do that.
Let's just avoid that at all costs. You never know. It could result in your best friend. Never mind. I'm not going to go down that road. Oh, man. You know what other road I'm not going to go down? Leverage. I'm not going to go down a road without leverage.
It's a great TV show.
Yeah, I was going to say the show on TNT.
Never saw it. I was aware of it, but I never saw it.
It was decent. It was decent. It's a great midday viewing.
It's one of those shows where every episode is the same, but they're also a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like ER.
someone's dying, someone's got to get saved.
Yeah. People are in the hospital. That they're messed up, and here you go. Here's a doctor.
Yeah.
Here's Noah Wiley. Everybody, Noah Wiley. He's playing a doctor again.
It is the it's much like the TV shows that we're talking about. It's just another season with another special teams issue for the Broncos that has popped up. There was obviously the punt debacle in KC last year. There's this year we had fumbled
punt return. Yeah.
Yep. And then we have the attempted block. One brand new out of 80 different concepts, according to Darren Rizzi, for blocking punts. Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That didn't go right. And
it did go right. The kick from Will Lutz that was before that went right.
Oh,
there you go. There you go.
Where there was leverage also.
Yeah, there was also leverage on that, but that whole thing went right.
That one wasn't called.
Yeah,
it went right. I sit here and I looked at that when I was watching that play, and then I heard the comments afterwards. All I could think of was, oh my God, Darren Rizzi is trying to be Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
He is trying to become the exact mold and replica of him with all of these different things and personnels, and trying to talk about how smart of a damn play caller he is and how genius this was, because if it had worked, it would have been great.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Can I ask my question?
Yeah.
You in the back.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So, Nick Archuleta,
Undrafted Uncensored.
Quick question. Why do you send the blocking team out there for a 60-yard field goal when this kicker that you're facing has a career long of 48? Now, I'm bad at math, but that's 12 yards more than his career long, if I'm doing the math correctly. And he missed.
Well, see here, there in the game of football, there's a lot of different things and nuances and stuff that happens in the game of football, and you just gotta kind of go with some of the stuff that happens and go with things. And when you think something's right, I don't know, because you're trying to be the smartest man in the room and not just do the right damn thing.
That's a great Darren Rizzi impression, Colin.
It was actually.
I've listened to a lot of his clips this week, so it could be a little ingrained in my memory. When you sit here and you're trying to win a game, you're trying to show off, and the point of this game and these games is just to win.
Yeah.
In baseball, you see it a lot. Fundamentals. You master the fundamentals, and then those other things start happening. That's when that epic slide by Moniak happens. When you're used to sliding into second base, and then you can start to change things around. The Broncos aren't even okay at the fundamentals in the last 2 seasons. They aren't even average. Like, they're not average. They're well below average in all aspects, I would say, besides the kicker. But then you're not giving them opportunities, which therefore makes you below average because your punting game hasn't been strong. And I'm not just talking this year. I'm talking last year too. But your special teams have not been good. So why the hell are you trying something fancy, like you said, on a 60-yard field goal attempt where this guy has a career long of 48, and it's in a crunch situation? Like, the game was over.
Yeah.
You don't know how this guy's going to respond. Yeah, maybe he makes it. Okay, cool. You lost on a 60-yarder. That sucks. But this guy had never hit from there.
Yeah,
I took my chances with him missing.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Dallas Giants game. Yeah. 64 yards. Yeah, at that point, you're just throwing your hands up going, let the gods take the wheel at this point. If they make it, we go to overtime. If they don't, we win. It's 64 yards. That's close to an NFL record.
Yeah, if you want to try something fancy, have all of your guys just stand there. Just watch him
Just
kick.
stand up and hold their hands up.
Spirit
Yeah.
fingers.
Just spirit fingers, or do a basketball and tell him an Australian joke. Whatever it takes. Psych him out. Whatever.
Maybe
it takes.
the dingo ate your baby.
Yeah, I mean,
Vagina.
No one said that you had to line up you had to be in a stance on the line on defense. You can be standing up right there, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. You can tell him his sister slept with Squeak. You can tell him all that shit.
Squeak. Oh man, damn it! I can't remember what I was just about to say. Oh,
well, I mean,
your mom went out with Squeak.
The one nice thing, I mean,
bitch.
the defense didn't show up, but you got a little bit more of the run. You had 24 rushes this time in that game. So, I mean, compared to, what was it, 30 passes? Something like that. So, I mean, your balance is getting a little bit better. I mean, J.K. Dobbins had some pretty decent runs. Sorry, my app just refreshed itself for a second. I was trying to pull him up. Or I'm sorry, RJ Harvey. No,
Dobbins had
Dobbins,
Dobbins had the majority of the work.
Yeah,
well,
Harvey had less than 10 yards.
But it still felt, because I put $25 on Harvey to get at least 25 yards.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, this is dumb.
Dobbins got 76.
But they ran it more, yes. However, it also felt like they never had a running game to speak of. It felt like those runs really were very inconsequential.
Yeah.
They didn't establish the run. It wasn't an identity, and that's been a problem of this team for a long time. Oh, now I remember what I was going to say. Identity. So when speaking of the Giants and the Cowboys game, I want to say Jameis Winston should have prayed to deliver Russell Wilson from interceptions in that game if they wanted any chance to win it in overtime. Obviously, he didn't. He only prayed for himself, which I can understand. He's thrown a lot, and you got to do that. You got to pray for yourself sometimes. But
to be fair,
you need to pray for his fellow brother, knowing the time of game. Russell Wilson has been known to throw interceptions in high value, very critical moments of games.
What?
Hello, New England Patriots.
Never seen that before.
What's up, Legion of Boom? Legion of Boom says hello.
Yeah.
With one ring. Yeah. By the way, I think I am going to be in Seattle watching. I'm going to be going to the Seahawks Saints game this Sunday.
You were talking about that because
it looks like tickets are dropping.
All right. So what about the Mariners game, though?
Oh no, I'm definitely going to that.
That's
the whole reason I'm going out there. But things have dropped far enough that I'll be, when I am in Seattle, that I'll be going to that game. It appears, at least at this moment, there's still about a little less than 48 hours till that game kicks off.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
So, I wasn't about to pay. I mean, my trips aren't expensive, but my rule of thumb with most of my stuff is that I'm not paying more for a single thing than I am like my flight and accommodations. And for this trip, my flight and accommodations for my trip, granted I'm using some points, is less than $150. So
okay.
It's a little less, like 135. But yeah, when tickets were still at around 130, 120, I'm like, it's a little close for that one, especially for a team that I don't really care about. But it appears that tickets have dropped because of how wonderful the Saints are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me how Lumen Field is, because T-Mobile Park is gorgeous.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited.
You're gonna love that.
Yeah, I need to get a list from you about it for sure. And anyone out there, if anyone out there has a list of stuff to do out in Seattle, I would take any suggestions. I already have a bunch, but I'm filling up the list like Santa Claus, filling up the list, checking it twice.
There's the first Starbucks ever. It has a huge line for no reason. You can just go to a different Starbucks and get the same stuff.
Yeah.
I will be going by there. There are a few places that I've heard that are right around there. One's called Piroshki that I'm going. Okay. Yeah. Piroshki. And I looked at the stuff there. It's phenomenal. There's a mac and cheese place that's unbelievable in there, I guess.
There's just a cheesery in general that makes ridiculously good cheese. You just show up and get whatever. My aunt and a bunch of her friends and I all went out there. But they went more to this like northern Washington Island area. So we're only in Seattle for like a day.
Oh, the Sound?
But what you said? What?
The Washington Sound?
Sure. No, it was an island of some sort. I forget what it was called.
Yeah.
Lopez Island. But
I think
the fish
probably
market was
Alger
cool.
Vashon.
Word. Yeah, there was a really cool fish market that was nice. The cheese place was super cool. There's a really disgusting street wall full of bubble gum. People just stick their gum to the wall. Don't really recommend that, but almost everywhere to eat there is good. You kind of can't miss.
Yeah, I will actually eat some salmon out there, just because you kind of have to. Even though I'm not a big salmon guy, I've been telling a bunch of people this. They're always surprised that I don't like salmon, and or that salmon isn't on my list of fishes because I cook with it so much, especially in food and restaurants. Yeah, salmon is on every menu. It's like the fish protein of every restaurant.
Makes sense.
So I've dealt with so much salmon in my life. It's not really something that I want to see in my day-to-day life.
I can understand that.
Eat other fish. There's plenty of other fish in the sea, Colin.
There are, and we'll see if those fish in the sea understand my text messages when I ask them out. I don't know if those fish in the sea understand. I've been direct. I've been indirect. We discussed this earlier.
New nickname, Salmon?
Yeah. I mean, should we call her Clam? She's clammed up.
Clammed up.
Sorry. That's
stayed in her shell.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the salmon talk. Tune in next week when we talk about trout.
Back to the Broncos, who are also swimming upstream right now, especially going into this Chargers game.
Yeah, let's get into the Chargers now.
Transition right there, fellas.
That was nice.
Nice. Just like the salmon swimming upstream. Oh, yeah. If the Broncos lose this game, they are in trouble. I mean, the whole division's in trouble if the Broncos lose this game. But specifically for the Broncos, a team that obviously we have high hopes for here locally and at the start of the season, they lose this, the Chargers start 3-0 in the division.
Yeah.
The Broncos have lost a conference matchup now because they lost to the Colts, and then they lose a division matchup. They don't have the pedigree that the Chiefs do.
No, they're not helping their cause.
And I would have more faith even with the Broncos with, a game ahead of the Chiefs. Well, I don't want to say most likely. But tied with the Chiefs. The Chiefs will obviously have the odds-on favorite to overtake them. You need to continue to get as much separation because the Chiefs are playing the Giants this weekend, and that should be a win for them. Obviously, I mean,
we'll see if Chiefs team shows up too, because this has been quite the start of the season for the Chiefs so far. And I'm not saying that they're going to go 0-18, but they are. Their holes are starting to show a lot more now.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, we'll see if Jameis Winston has started to pray for his starting quarterback to deliver him from interceptions. But
maybe
I
it's
think
Jameis Winston game. Maybe he just comes in and just throws so many touchdowns that aren't pick sixes. Maybe it's the Jackson Dart game. Who knows?
Maybe it's any of them. But the Broncos need this to be their game.
Yeah,
this is one where the Chargers. I don't know if the Chargers come in confident or even a bit tired because that game against the Raiders was ugly.
Yeah.
And the Broncos, I think, really do have a chance, but they have to establish that run. They legitimately do, because you cannot let this defense figure out Bo Nix and have an opportunity to dictate where Nix is going to make the next play.
Well, and on top of that, too, this is J.K. Dobbins' kind of revenge game. I mean, the Chargers didn't want you. You ended up in Denver. You got to play them twice a year. And here's your chance right now in LA in front of their fans to just run all over them and finally show what they lost. I mean, we know there's something in there, but again, part of what's stopping him too is Sean Payton won't get out of his own way.
Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a really interesting game because it feels like both these teams have been a little bit underwhelming in different ways. Like the Chargers have really been surprising on the passing game because we all expected the Greg Roman offense. We expected Omari and Hampton to look unstoppable, and he really hasn't looked terrifying. Knock on wood. But what's looked terrifying is Justin Herbert off the play action. Keenan Allen looks like Keenan Allen from 10 years ago all of a sudden, and Quentin Johnston looks like a first-round pick. Lad McConkey's a good slot receiver. Like their passing game looks a lot scarier than expected, which bodes well for the Broncos. That is their strength on defense. So the Chargers have looked disappointing just from a running game standpoint, which is great for us. The Broncos have looked disappointing from a few different standpoints. Defense looked great against the Titans. Titans aren't good though. So offense hasn't looked great. It looked good against the Colts. But like you said, Colin, the running game was definitely effective, but it didn't feel like it was really their identity. It just felt like they were getting more yards on those runs they were just inadvertently calling. And maybe they called one or two more because they were getting good carries, but it didn't feel like it was really something they wanted to do that much. We talked about last week. You got to want to run the ball. So I could really see this going either way. This could be the game where the Chargers get a
Uh-oh.
Right as I'm coughing, he freezes.
I know. Well, let me jump on this real quick while we wait for Joe to return.
Yes.
I kind of feel like there might be some more runs in this game too, because Nate Atkins is coming back. Ingram's out. Atkins is in. Atkins is known more for his blocking anyway. So there's a good chance that's going to add up to maybe some more run plays.
Maybe. I think that, well, one, I'm really happy you just said that because, you reminded me. Sorry, I'm getting this fixed. But, well,
Bye, Joe.
Let's go to the –
Let's
oh,
go
dang it. That didn't do it right. See, this is why –
now it's all
done.
Colin's
All
show.
right, now we're back.
There we go.
Because it's something that I had remembered last week. Joe lost his internet, everybody, but I had remembered this last week and I had forgotten about it. But you mentioned it, so J.K. Dobbins, 2 touchdowns. The revenge game thing, I think, is a very legitimate. I guess it's a legitimate cause in this game for the Broncos.
There we go.
We saw this last year with Sean Payton returning to New Orleans, and the way that that was last year, right?
Yeah,
was that 2 years?
No, it was last year.
Yeah, I was like, I can't remember when it was. But we see the legitimate his I guess direction, his focus on like the revenge games and wanting to make it mean something. It does mean something more. It is an important thing for him. And so I think, J.K. Dobbins probably gets a little bit more run in this game than maybe he did in regular games. So I'm not only gonna do that 2 touchdown bet. I'm gonna layer some yardage for JK throughout this game. Probably I'll check here in a second what his odds are to get to 100 yards. But I sit here and I wonder where if the Broncos can establish that identity, defeat a 2-0 team, if they can defeat a 2-0 team, then they would have, the Chargers have 2 games in division. So with the Chargers having 2 games in the division, the Broncos would still be in in second place. However, they would hold the tiebreaker at the moment against the Chargers. So
in first place.
Well, yeah, sorry. Yes. So, yeah, technically they'd be in second, but they would have they'd be tied for first, but in second behind the Chargers because of the tiebreaker for the Chargers because they have more division wins, I think. Right? No, yeah, Chargers. No, Broncos would be in first. Excuse me, I'm totally wrong.
So
they would have the head-to-head. Head-to-head goes before division, and then it goes
2-0, correct?
Well, yeah, they would all be the Broncos in charge would be 2-1.
Yeah, and the Broncos.
So I just had it wrong because they had 2 division wins. I was thinking division wins go over the conference.
No, head to head first.
No, the Chargers, so that supersedes everything else.
Yeah, but that's like I said, it's huge, especially when we look at the long term future of this season. They can't let the Chargers get out to 3-0 start, and you mentioned Keenan Allen and Johnson. They have a running game that's good. I mean, Najee Harris has hurt the Broncos before. He hasn't done it with one eye, but I don't know if it really matters sometimes with the way that defense looked. No Dre Greenlaw this weekend. Strnad is questionable, I believe. Evan Ingram has been ruled out already.
Let me pull that up again. I'm sorry.
So it's, I mean, 2 of those guys are obviously defensive.
Everybody's full except for Evan Ingram and Dre Greenlaw.
Yep.
Everybody's in. The only 2 designations are Ingram and Greenlaw who are out.
Yeah.
Everybody else has no designation.
I don't believe that was Strnad at all, though.
It says he was full practice today.
Okay.
He was limited yesterday, full today. So.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I'll believe it when I see it on the field.
I don't blame you.
It still sucks for the Broncos that they got to go up against, these guys, and the guy who was supposed to clog up the middle and really help solidify this defense isn't going to be there. Hufanga has done a great job, but Greenlaw was that piece that we've been missing in Broncos country at linebacker for a while. Well, and I guess
still down.
We still haven't had that piece because he hasn't played a down.
Well, the Chargers are also missing a key linebacker too, in Khalil Mack.
That's true.
So you got to add that to the pressure on the Chargers defense too, and I mean that's a massive piece. That's hard for the Chargers to work around right now. I mean, I'm not taking away from the Chargers defense, but you lost your green dot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's an opportunity again for the Broncos to open up that run playbook because as I don't know if you guys saw this, I was watching the game with my parents. This was beautiful. You could see it again on Sean Payton's call sheet. Run the ball. Again. I'm like, do we really have to do this? Is it that hard to remember?
I mean, at least the ball got ran. So if that's what it takes, then awesome. Because last time he had the sticky note that said run the ball, he didn't run the ball more. And
well, that's because it was on the backside.
Even funnier. That's true. You wouldn't have seen it. But if whatever it takes, man, if Nathaniel Hackett had been a good coach, then we could have lived with having to count down the play clock his first couple of games, Sadly, he wasn't. And that was one of the reasons why. But I would love them to actually establish some kind of run game. I feel like against the Chargers, they're going to have to. Otherwise, the same thing will happen. And that happened twice last year is the Chargers are going to get ahead of you because they run the crap out of the football and just get ahead. And you're not going to be able to keep up because your offense is too all over the place. And hopefully that big play didn't happen. And maybe the big play happens and everything's fine. But I don't know, man. I'm a little more concerned, especially with Evan Ingram not being there, even though he hasn't done a ton production wise, he scares the shit out of people. He's kind of like Terrell Davis with a migraine. Like, they still have to respect him, even if he hasn't done anything because his first couple of weeks. So having him not there will change how the defense covers the Broncos offense. Maybe that gives opportunities to Lucas Krull, the best tight end in Broncos offseason history. But someone's got to step up, man. Like, Troy Franklin needs to break out more. Pat Bryant needs to break out maybe. We need a Mimsy touchdown. Something I think is going to have to happen. And maybe it's something on defense too. I don't know. Someone's got to give.
Speaking of respecting, real quick, Colin, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. You're tuned in to Undrafted Uncensored on the E280 Sports Network. We appreciate you for coming in. Colin, for whatever reason, knows who's tuned into these things. So I just wanted to thank you. But Colin can list off the names of people right now.
I was going to say, I can't help you. Alex Ramirez, obviously, appreciate you tuning in. Jonah.
Oh, word.
What's up, Jonah? Appreciate the like and giving us some views here. But speaking of views, if you want to view a Broncos home game in Los Angeles, tickets are half the price for this Broncos-Chargers game than they are for Seahawks and Saints.
Are you serious?
Awesome.
$66, lowest tickets, fees included.
Wow.
72, 76 for seats. Yeah. I don't know how, this is the Chargers home opener.
In California. Everything's expensive in California.
They were in Vegas last week.
Yeah.
And they were in Brazil week 1.
Yeah.
This is their home opener, and tickets are $66 for a team that's 2-0, leading the division and playing some of the best football in the NFL at this moment in time.
Well, they don't have home games. That's why it was so impressive. They were able to sweep the Broncos playing it away twice.
Right? So, that's not bad. If anyone feels the need to go fly out to Los Angeles to watch the Broncos play the Chargers, your tickets are going to be cheaper than almost anywhere else.
Good luck getting there.
Well, yeah, but you can figure it out. But for $66, you can figure it out how to get in the door.
I think so.
Like I said, it's about half the price for the Seahawks and Saints, and this isn't even the Seahawks home opener.
No.
Very, very interesting that I find that very interesting because we all know that fan base is very hit or miss.
Yeah, I don't think they really claim the Chargers, which is kind of sad because if this was in San Diego, that would be a whole lot different right now.
For a lot of the years, yeah, sure. Besides the years that they had the top level taped off or whatever, Matt tarped off. I find that unbelievable that a home opener for a team that's playing as good as the Chargers and who is actually as good as the Chargers would be only $70, let's just call it, whatever, 66.
So I was just checking this real quick. There's 2 tickets available for this game for a pregame photo on the field if you already have a ticket for $50.
Dope. I mean,
that's I wonder how much that Broncos experience costs.
I'm just wow. That's crazy.
We all talk about how I guess the NFL prints money. I guess it's not the case for every single team. I just don't know how a team can be that good and just not supported that much. It really does surprise me. Maybe they've been heartbroken over all the years and the fans just don't want to spend their money. Or maybe they're just kind of fair weather. I mean, I know we're getting into this. In LA, it is baseball season as the Dodgers are on their way to what appears to be another World Series berth, at least.
Tap the brakes on the World Series berth.
Well, as we go on.
Phillies are and Brewers are kind of scary too.
I'm not as scary as the Dodgers.
I don't know. I think they're kind of.
Okay, Nick. I will take the Dodgers. You get the field in the National League.
Okay,
$10.
All right, I'm in.
Okay. I really don't. Yeah. But we'll get into that baseball talk later. However, I know it's baseball season, but why is a home opener so just not attended.
I don't.
They don't have fans in that city. They're Rams fans. The Los Angeles didn't have a football team for a long time. They tried the Raiders for a little bit. The Rams moved back, and that was where the most like ingrained fans were. The best Charger fans were from San Diego. So a lot of them stopped being Charger fans or aren't driving to LA to go to Charger games after they got their team pulled from their city. So it kind of makes sense. Like going back to even the soccer stadium thing, you'd think they would have been able to build a little bit more of a fan base with a guy like Justin Herbert, but they were so bad for so long. The Chargers going to Charger meme became such a good meme, and the Rams won a Super Bowl. So they're kind of just sharing a city with a team, but they don't get an equal share of that city like you get with Giants, Jets, Yankees, Mets. I'm sure there's more Yankees than Mets, but Cubs, White Sox, that kind of thing. Like they don't have that because it's kind of just Rams fans, and then I guess there's some Charger fans.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that those other teams, they still sell out their home openers.
Yeah.
Like, I get what you're saying, Joe, and I completely agree.
Lakers, Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see half price tickets or whatever it is for a home opener for any of those games or season.
Because they have fans.
What it's telling me is that the Chargers haven't ingrained themselves into the community or put themselves out there enough. Yeah, the Rams were there before they came back. That's where all the hype is. But you also have to you have to put yourself into that city. The Clippers is a great example. The Clippers are definitely the second cousin, third time removed, whatever, to the Lakers. But they don't have a problem with people going to at least home openers.
Yeah,
exactly, because they have an even amount of fans in the city that are Clippers fans. The Chargers don't have that. They don't have
I would say that there's way more Lakers fans than Clippers fans.
Yeah,
exactly. But the Clippers still have a good bit of fans. The Chargers don't. There's less Charger fans than there are Clipper fans. That's what I'm saying is that the Chargers don't have that fan base in that city. It's like they just kind of moved in, but the city already had a team. Like I can't think of another example in sports where a city had a team, another team moved to that same city and then expected to somehow siphon away the fans. Like it's not like you built a King Soopers across the street from a Safeway. Like this doesn't work like that. So I think they just don't have the fans in LA straight up.
Well, I have a friend that was a Chargers fan, and once they moved from San Diego, he felt betrayed.
There you go.
And so he said, I'm never rooting for that team again. And he still has no team. He'll watch football, but he said, I have no team.
He's a Ronin.
Bring him over to the Broncos side.
I tried. He almost went to the Raiders side because he showed up to Allegiant Stadium and was like taken away by that stadium. I'm like, dude, don't do it. Don't do it.
I can see how that pretty little thing could tempt you.
And he's in Utah, so it's, which way do I go? Do I go to Vegas or do I go to Denver?
Yeah. I was going to say, if he was in San Diego, he wouldn't want to make that drive up to LA anyways. That's a terrible drive. But
yeah,
back to the game rather than those guys. I think for the Broncos need to, get the running game going, but this defense needs to figure something out. Because even in week 1 against the Titans, they sacked Cam Ward 6 times, which was great. But you still saw there were still some uneasy moments because it's like, ooh, are they moving the ball on the Broncos? And then all of a sudden they would make a few big plays and push them back, out of field goal range. But last week, didn't see that. And Joe, when you brought up earlier Herbert and how he's been unleashed and running the ball more and more active outside the pocket, the Broncos, I've said this consistently, Broncos against athletic quarterbacks have struggled. I can't remember the last time they've been able to contain an athletic quarterback besides Cam Newton in the Super Bowl, which was a pretty big one. But
that was 10 years ago. Different.
Yeah, they do not fare well against athletic quarterbacks. And I'm not saying Herbert is athletic, but I mean, what was the stat? Did you guys hear the stat? He gained an extra mile per hour this offseason in speed in his workouts. Yeah, it was on the broadcast. Something like he gained an extra mile or 2 miles per hour running speed-wise with his offseason training program. So this has been a focus, is him being more mobile and agile within the pocket and even outside of the pocket. So the Broncos need to not think this is the Herbert of old, and this is Herbie fully loaded. He's ready to go. Like, he's ready to run, and this offense isn't a Volkswagen. It really is a souped up, it's a souped up Jetta. I don't know.
Jetta?
It's not a Beetle. It's a souped up Jetta. I don't know. I don't know where that one was going. However, they're running. These guys are running on premium fuel, unlike the unleaded that they used to be running on. All right. So it's high octane, it's high performance, and this defense has to respond to that right now, because if they don't, this will be a bloodbath in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to be concerned. That Chargers offense is like a Toyota Celica.
Super.
It can get away real quick.
It's like a Super compared to a Celica.
It's like
it used to be a Celica, now it's a Supra.
They
got a kid on it.
All right. This is getting away like the Broncos defense lets offenses do sometimes. Let's bring this back. Predictions. Sunday, 2:10. Broncos Chargers.
Well, I had some orange colored glasses last week. And I think because it's a Broncos home game, they end up getting smoked in this game. I think that the Chargers do come away. The defense is having troubles. I think it's something like a 39-17, 39-14 type of loss. The offense hasn't shown me. They might even actually 39-10. The Broncos offense. No, I have to do 14 because I chose J.K. Dobbins 2 touchdowns. Those are the only 2 touchdowns. So 39-14. I just haven't seen anything from this offense, even though Khalil Mack is out, to give me any faith that they can go ahead and beat this Chargers defense. And the Chargers offense is so good. So there you are.
Man, this game, it feels like the Broncos are just going to lose. It feels like they don't have it. I just feel like something happens. I don't know. Like I said, something kind of needed to happen. And the more I think about it, I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like, to just say it again, something's going to happen. I don't need to elaborate more. Let's go like 27-24.
Same Broncos?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe even a little less. Like there's less scoring than we expect, maybe. Like 23-20. Let's go 23-20. That feels right.
Damn it.
Some kind of thing, where
you gave too long, Nick. You should have cut him off.
Where Will Lutz actually kicks the extra point. Or the extra point, the field goal. I don't know. I think something cool can happen here, but I have no good reason why.
It's going to be I think it's going to be a low scoring kind of game. It's going to be almost like last week where it's just going to go back and forth for a little bit.
Last week wasn't low scoring.
That's why I said kind of. Listen to the whole sentence there, Colin.
It's going to be like last week, low scoring, and it was back and forth.
Kind of.
It's not even kind of like last week. It wasn't low scoring at all last week.
You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
You cut me off, and you got stuck on it like last week, and you didn't let me finish. Where it's going to be close.
Hold on.
Was the rest of that sentence. So let me try this again. It's going to be kind of like last week where it was kind of close, but I think this one's going to be a little more low scoring. Is that better?
That's a much better way to put it.
Oh, good grief.
Well, you got to let him finish putting it, Colin.
I mean, the over-under is 45.5. So,
I guess, my 39-10 was a little bit over. But
yeah, a little bit. I mean, they almost have 45 just on the 39. But anyway, I would stick with the under. I'm thinking 21-17 maybe. It's going to be close, and it's going to come down to the last drive.
But who?
I have to lean Chargers right now.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was like, you didn't say the winner, Nick. Come on.
Yeah, I have to lean Chargers right now. Again, the Broncos haven't shown me enough that they can play well in a tough game, and I think the defense will step up. They'll show up, unlike last week. But I don't trust Sean Payton calling that offense still.
The one thing I will say that could be a saving grace for the Broncos and their chance is that these Chargers are tired.
Yeah.
And that non-home field advantage does help the Broncos in a way. If that's the case, because this, we mentioned the third straight divisional game, they could be kind of wiped out because it was a dogfight last week in Vegas.
Yeah. Well, and like you said too, it's a home away from home kind of game for the Broncos too. That place always fills up with orange and blue. So you never know. That may help too.
Oh yeah,
going home.
It's a home game for the Broncos. They're playing in LA.
Yeah. Let's move up north real quick. Yeah. Let's move up north real quick. The Buffs are going back to Salter. When's Juju get his start?
We went over this 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I don't know why, unless he's just that bad. I mean, that has to be the reason why. If Juju maybe he was a 5-star recruit who got away with it in high school by being talented and doesn't try. That's the only thing I could think, because at this point in time, with the games you've lost, why would you go back to Salter? What are you trying to salvage this year, Dion? What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Well,
and you're playing Wyoming at this point, a Mountain West team that's moving on to a bigger conference next year. So this is their last year in the Mountain West. Wyoming's not a team to really laugh at.
Yeah, and with Caden Salter is maybe the worst choice for the offense the Buffs run. And until Pat Shurmur proves that he's capable of calling an offense that plays to the strengths of Caden Salter, then I don't think that anything's going to change. I don't think that, and I think you're right, Colin. It definitely shows a lack of confidence. I think Dion will try to keep as much close to the chest as possible. So I'm not sure necessarily if it's a lack of confidence in Juju or if it's a lack of confidence in Pat Shurmur's offense. If it's a lack of confidence in the offense to protect Juju, like he's just not ready and he doesn't want a David Carr situation where the kid gets ruined by putting him in too early and developing bad habits. Maybe he's just a straight up bust. I don't know about that. But it definitely shows a lack of confidence somewhere. I guess maybe it could be also the running game too, or a combination, like D, all of the above, where it's like, I don't think the running game can give Juju enough of a cushion. I don't think the line can protect him. I don't think Pat Shurmur can call the plays for him. And I don't think he's ready for all that. So it's better to leave him out. And I don't even know if that's the right way to go. It just feels like there's got to be a lack of confidence in there somewhere. Otherwise, this is just Deion Sanders trying to pretend like nothing's happening, shoving his head in the sand and being like, no, we're good. We're just going to switch quarterbacks again, like Alabama did with Jalen Milroe for a little bit, and then they figured it out, right? They're Alabama. They'll be good. This doesn't feel like a team that can all of a sudden find its quarterback and just compete. Like, you need to, like you said, get Juju the reps and get him ready for next year. And maybe they've already decided and evaluated that he's just not ready and he's going to have to play next year. And this year might just suck.
Do you think there was so much shine all around Juju coming into the Buffs organization that Prime doesn't want the next quarterback of the CU Buffs to outshine what Shedeur did?
No, because
why is he not giving him a chance?
Because he wants to win. first and foremost. So I think it could just be the simple, Michael Malone stubbornness of I just want to play the quarterback that gives me the best chance to win this week. I don't know if Dion necessarily has that. It's got to be something like he doesn't think he can do it. He's seen something in practice and in that game against Delaware, like that he's got too much to work on potentially. I'm not really sure exactly why, but there's got to be something, like does his footwork look like rookie Drew Lock? Like what's the problem?
Well, you work on those things also in the game.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just a coaching philosophy. I don't agree with that. I think at this point you've got to put in the kid because he's just a better passer. I don't know. Maybe they don't believe in the receivers because the receiving core is a total turnover from last year too. Yeah. So maybe it's partially that. They don't think they have the guys like they had for Shedeur, so they don't want to put Juju back there and throw a whole bunch of picks off of dropped, bobbed passes or whatever. But I don't know, man. It definitely shows, like I said, a lack of confidence in somewhere in the team and in the offense especially. And so I think it's just going to keep getting worse, I guess, until it gets better or until they promote Byron Leftwich and fire Pat Shurmur.
Well, and I've heard too, I've heard this several times, they also think Juju is a little small too. He's only 6'1" and 190. And that's football measurement, so that's probably pretty generous.
They're waiting for him to fill out like Giannis.
Yeah. No, that's probably what part of the problem is they want him to hit the weights a little harder, and until he does, he may not see the field. Yeah,
I don't see any of one of those things being enough to hold out your 5-star recruit, but maybe a combination of all of them. Or maybe Dion's just scared of something. I don't know. Maybe he needs to go to church.
I think the writing's on the wall. Juju. I don't think Juju's back next year. I highly doubt it. I think he's going to hit the portal. Because what the hell is this 5-star recruit sitting there saying, I was so coveted, I was so wanted, and now I'm not even getting playing time, and you can't choose a starting quarterback, and
Shedeur gave me the key.
Option. I'm not even option 1, 2, or 3 because option 1 was a transfer. Option 2 was a guy who had been here before, and option 3 was to go back to option 1. So, like, if I'm Juju and I have this portal and everything, I'm not staying with the Buffs. Unless Prime has gotten some sort of relationship with him, which we all know he's a great relationship builder, there's no way I'm staying at CU for another year of possibly riding the bench when there's some other guy that he might bring in from some other bowl game that they get blown out by Oregon by.
Yeah, I really need to take a look at the body language of Juju on the sidelines and see, because I don't know if he's going to be like available for any interviews, but I'd really like to see how he seems to feel about this. Like if he's content in waiting, then he has some kind of assurances he's going to be okay next year. He'll be with the Buffs. Or he's got assurances that he's just going to transfer out and doesn't care either way. If he looks upset, then that guarantees he wants out. If he looks chill, that doesn't necessarily guarantee he's going to stay. It's not, one thing isn't equal to the other, but how he's handling this, I think, will say a lot about the future of the Buffs quarterback position. If Juju seems cool with it, then that is a step in the right direction for him to be here next year. But if he seems upset, like put me on the field, put me in, coach, I can play center field, then the Buffs have a problem, and he might want to transfer out. And then you're looking at, oh God, who is the quarterback of the Buffs next year? Because Caden Salter's not sticking around. He's out of eligibility, and he wouldn't want to stay with Pat Shurmur anyway. So now you're in real trouble if that's the case. So I think they have to kind of placate to Juju one way or the other. So if maybe he wants to sit, maybe he feels like he's not ready, he's too skinny, wants to get in the weight room, whatever. And so they're like, fuck, I guess we're stuck with these other two guys until Juju thinks he's ready. Maybe he's like Radon from
that's the case. I don't want him as my quarterback.
I agree. We're all just speculating for reasons why we think they're not doing the thing that we all think they should do, because the season's basically over. If Ryan Staub got you a miracle win, then maybe we can talk about, bowl games and Jim Mora's. But until it didn't happen. So yeah, man, put in Juju, see what happens. it's kind of like what could possibly go wrong? A lot. But what could possibly go wrong?
Deion's been hanging out with Sean Payton too much, the two smartest guys in the room.
Yeah. You know what?
Which quarterbacks every week?
Sometimes you just have to be the smartest in the room, smartest man in the room, don't you, Colin?
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, it's jam.
The Pick'em segment, proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Least. Featuring Nick Archuleta wishing he was somewhere else. And Joe Goodwin just kind of winging it.
Oh, speaking of winging it, welcome into the victory formation where we make real picks with fake money and keep track of it to see who has won the most throughout the year. But also winging it, one thing we didn't get to that I want to touch on real quick is Clayton Kershaw's retirement at the end of the season. What an amazing career. One of my memories of Kershaw is just seeing him warming up at Coors Field and winging it from the center field wall all the way to the left field foul line with ease. Yeah. Like there was no effort. He would just huck it, and the ball, you could hear the pop in the mitt from the stands in the outfield. It was on a rope. And I was just like, yeah, not only is that a difference between me and a professional athlete, like that, it was on a frozen rope, but that's the difference between a Hall of Famer and just a really good baseball player. Like
probably the last 3,000 strikeout guy.
Yeah.
For a long time, if ever again.
So, you're welcome for 2,999 of those strikeouts against the Rockies, Kershaw. Wish you well. Hate to see you go, but love to watch you leave.
Yes.
What else we love to watch leaving is last week's results. As no one went perfect. 2 of us won 1 game, and 1 of us lost 3. So let's get into it. I think I said that right. So let's get into it. We start off with Red Sox Yankees on Sunday Night Baseball. Yankees lose to the Red Sox, and of course Nick could not pick the Red Sox, so he gets that one wrong. We move on to the Falcons versus Vikings on Sunday Night Football, where the Falcons come up victorious against the Vikings. They also won me my parlay. So while me and Joe both picked the Vikings to win this game, I came out victorious in real life money because of them. So Nick gets that one right at plus 145, won 24.50. 2020 twin. Anybody? Next we move on to the Buccaneers versus the Texans. I thought something was fishy in this game, and it looked like it until the fourth quarter when the Buccaneers and Mayfield engineered a miraculous drive to win the game. So me choosing the Texans was completely wrong. Nick and Joe both chose the Bucs, winning 21-40 with the underdogs. Both Nick and Joe this week picking the underdogs victorious, or picking the underdogs correctly and winning. So winning big money there. And I was the only one to choose the Raiders to beat the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Obviously, I didn't make that mistake again with my Broncos pick. Nick and Joe both chose the Chargers at minus 185. They won 15-41, meaning Nick is the big winner this week once again. Oh, well, maybe not once again, but he is the big winner this week, winning 51-31. Joe in second, 43-18, and I lost 13-64. So Nick in first place, almost over $500 at $493. I'm in second at $450.98, and Joe is in third, but back over 300 at $307.82. Let's get into the picks for this week, as we'll try to run through them real quick for you. For all of you on Instagram, if you miss the end of this, make sure to jump on Facebook to get the end of our picks. First things first, we're going to start off with Sunday Night Football. That is the Chiefs go to the Meadowlands to face the Giants, and we talked about this one earlier. Chiefs big favorites, minus 325, facing the Giants, who almost beat the Cowboys last weekend. Nick, who you got?
Give me the Chiefs. They're finally going to find that victory column for once.
Joe, who you got?
I really want to pick the Giants just to fucking cause chaos, but no, it's got to be Kansas City. That if Kansas City loses this game, then Chicken Little was right.
You know what? I'm going for all the chaos this week. Give me the Giants.
Spicy.
Give me the Giants. I think that Russell Wilson kind of has found the little moments that he'll have like a 3-week span where he's really good. And last week was the start of that, except for the last play. So give me the Giants because their defensive line is also no joke. Move on to Monday Night Football, where the Lions face the Ravens in a divisional matchup. Or excuse me, in a matchup of two of the top teams in each conference. The Lions plus 185 dogs, Ravens minus 225 home favorites.
No, they're cats.
I talked about wanting chaos, and I already told you I don't believe the Lions even make the playoffs this year. So give me the Ravens, nevermore. But after this time, nevermore or something. Yeah. Okay, Joe, who you got?
Who's that rapping at my chamber door? No, yeah, it's the Ravens. The Lions are good. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they'll be better than Colin says, but not better than last year. I think the Ravens take it. Derrick Henry bounces back from his 3 fantasy points from last week. Yeah. Let's get more than that.
Nick, who you got?
Give me Baltimore.
It's a clean sweep, so put your money on the Lions. Damn it, you guys aren't helping me with my prediction of the Lions not making playoffs. Oh, next we move on to what would normally be Sunday Night Baseball, but we have a special edition. Pick 'em. It is the Seahawks hosting the New Orleans Saints. The Saints, huge home favorites.
Because Colin's going to be there.
Because I'm going to be there.
For no other reason.
Seahawks are home favorites.
Seahawks, huge home favorites, minus 375 up against the Saints, plus 295. Joe, who you got?
The Saints are bad. And the Seahawks are home.
The Seahawks.
So, yeah, it's got to be the Seahawks, man.
Nick, who you got?
I'm going to go Saints just to hope that it's just an ugly, miserable time for you.
See, if you pick the Seahawks.
Wait, Nick. So this is the thing, though. How do you think it's going to be an ugly, miserable time for me when the Seahawks lose? I'm also choosing the Saints because the Seahawks also have a Thursday night football game against the Arizona Cardinals, and they might overlook the Saints, even if it is at home after a big win last week. I want to see misery and destruction, and I guess I don't need to go to a football game to see misery and destruction in Seattle.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll see some of it, but I do think the Saints. Let me be completely clear. I do think the Seahawks win. I'm picking the Saints for fun. However, I think the Saints keep this game very competitive. I think this game is probably closer than the Broncos game. So moving on, we will go to Sunday Night Baseball. And once again, this is always an easy one when it's the Red Sox playing. It's Red Sox Rays. So Nick, tell me why you're picking the Rays.
There's Sunday Night Baseball? There's no. Okay, whatever. I didn't think there was Sunday Night Baseball this Sunday, but I thought that was last one. But anyway, give me. Rays are still trying to stay alive, but I gotta go with. Actually, have to go with Boston on this one, only because Boston's still trying to fight for that final wild card spot between them and the Astros.
Well, there are actually 2 Sunday Night Baseball games. I just chose the latest one. The Mariners play the Astros, and then the Red Sox and Rays play at 5:35.
Oh, so I was
technically I did choose the wrong game, but it's the one that's on there because I didn't realize that the ESPN one is the Mariners. But Nick loves the Red Sox.
His favorite team.
And now I have to delete his name next to the Rays.
There you go.
Go ahead and give me the Rays at home in this one. At the end of the season, I know the Red Sox are fighting for that spot. I like Tampa more than the Red Sox. So, yeah, I'm going to go Tampa. Joe, who you got?
Oh, Nick picked the Red Sox, so I have to pick Tampa. That's everything.
So Nick would be the only one right choosing the Red Sox.
Exactly. I'm taking the Rays. 1,000%.
Truthist on this broadcast.
Nick's wearing all red because he loves the Sox.
Oh, yeah. This isn't red.
It looks pretty red to me.
It's the Iron Pigs, dude. It's hot tamales.
It looks pretty
And that's
red
not
to
red?
me.
Peach. It's my No Effects shirt. It's not red.
Maybe
camera, it's red.
maybe our cameras
It's
need to get
salmon.
updated because it looks pretty red.
It's salmon.
Look at your shirt through my camera. and
It's
tell me
salmon,
it's
like
not.
I'll probably be eating in Seattle in I'll be arriving there in about 27 hours. 26
Underrated
hours.
Broken
excuse me.
Lizard movie, The Slam and Salmon.
Yeah.
Slam and salmon.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in
Who is
today.
with the champ?
We appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you to Michael Spillane and everybody over at e5280sports.com for hosting us. Thank you to Pikes Peak Sports Cards, our sponsor. And thank you for tuning in. Without you, we would do this, but it would be boring. So thank you for making it not boring. We love you. Colin, have fun in Seattle. I won't really miss you because I don't see you. I just talk to you. But have fun anyway.
Oh, yeah. We'll do.
Enjoy the seafood. It's amazing.
If ifs and buts
Joe?
was candies and nuts,
Enjoy Denver.
all have
Yeah,
a
this
Merry
way.
Christmas.
Joe, I hope you enjoy Denver. Everybody else, we love you. Enjoy wherever you are.